All right, here we go. Day number 2 of algebra. Challenge questions are similar to yesterday's. We have a division. We are working with fractions, but then I sprinkled in a little orders of operation because that is now review. We worked on that yesterday. Challenge questions is a little bit more tricky. So how did you do? Remember, you should have already completed your challenge questions. How did you do? And the most important thing is not that you're getting 100%. That's not the most important thing. This is not a test. Okay, this is your practice. Most important thing is that you're using this time to try to understand your mistakes. So today I'm actually going to go over the challenge question answers right here, right now. Let's see if this can zoom in. Focus. All right, we have 5,682.3 divided by 3. 5,682.3 divided by 3. Remember, the first number that you say goes inside the house, and then the second number that you say goes on the outside of the house. Okay, see how there's a decimal? Now, depending on where that decimal is, depends on if it's fine right now or if we have to kind of move it away. Because there's only a decimal inside the house, it's fine. All you have to do is put it right on top with its answer. So now we divide. We're counting by 3s. How many 3s go into 5? 1. What's left over? 2. Bring down the 6. How many 3s go into 26? Well, 7 3s is 21. 8 is 24. 9 is 27. So it's got to be 8. What's left over? 2's left over, right? 2's left over. So now you bring down the 8. Well, 9 23s would be 27, or 9 3s is 27. So we're going to put 9. What's left over? Well, 1's left over. Bring down this final, not yet final, but bring down the 1's place. How many 3s go into 12? Well, 4 3s go into 12. So I'm going to put a 4 here, and then I'm going to bring down our last piece. And remember, there's nothing left over. We're bringing down our 3. So now we're just going to go into 3. How many 3s go into 3? 1. So our answer now is 1,894 and 1/10. Let's go into B. B, we're working with division, but we're working also with fractions. Now, this is a whole different method of division. Are we allowed to divide fractions? Not in my house. So therefore, what we are going to do is we are going to call the kernel, and we're going to keep and change and flip. This way, we don't have to divide fractions. We can multiply them. So 15 stays 15. The sign gets changed, and then flipping. To find its reciprocal, instead of 1 over 3, it's 3 over 1, which is 3. And 15 times 3 is 45. And to make sense of this, the real question is, I have 15 whole pizzas. How many thirds are in 15 whole pizzas? Of course, your answer is large. There's 45 thirds in 15 large pizzas. That makes sense. Let's go to C. Ooh, C, we got fun orders of operation. Let's write down our problem. 8 plus 10 divided by 5 times 1/2. The first thing that we do is you always multiply or divide before you add or subtract. There's no parentheses. There's no exponents. So the question is, which one do we do first? Do we multiply first or do we divide first? Well, you actually divide first because it comes up first in the problem if you're reading it from left to right. So 8 plus 2, because 10 divided by 5 is 10/5. 10/5 is 2 times 1/2. You always want to rewrite it because it brings down how many accidents you're going to have. So now we have a new problem that we want to do first. 2 times 1/2. Well, what's 2 times 1/2? Well, when you multiply, You go 2 over 1 times 1 over 2. Answer is 2 over 2, and 2 over 2 is equal to 1. So now we have an answer for that box, and it's simply 8 plus 1. So your answer is 9. Answer is 9. And then finally, we're going to figure out our challenge question. What do you get when you take the sum of 95.3 and 336.7 and divide it by 36? Yikes. So the first thing you want to do is find the sum. Now, if I just write 95.3 plus 336.7 divided by 36, this will get me the wrong answer. Because if I see this problem, I have to do this first. But I don't want to do that first. This is why we have parentheses. This is why we have parentheses. So I have my 336.7, 95.3, and I'm going to add those together. 7 plus 3 is 10. 6, 5, so that's 12. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 3 plus 1 is 4. So that's 432. Now I want to divide that by 36, right? Now remember, the first number that you say goes inside. I'm going to write it up here. And the second number you say goes on the outside. You want to make sure that you get that order right. So how many 36s are in 43? 1. What's left over? Let's see. 7's left over. Bring down the 2. How many 36s are in 32? I think 2. Let's see. 36 times 2 will tell me if that's true. 6 times 2 is 12. 7. Oh, yeah, perfect. It's exactly 2. That's right. And then you have your dot there, and then you bring down the 0, and you're like, oh, it can't go in. Oh, that's right, because it's a whole number. So your answer there is actually 12. That's your answer. All right. Now I understand a lot of you guys don't yet have your math book. That's fine and dandy. So today I wanted to work on the second portion of the lesson. Let's work on the odds together right now. And then at 10:30, we will work on the evens. So let's see. Consider the expression. All right, I wanted to make sure it was on the odds. Consider the expression 12 divided by 5 plus 2. Okay, so remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This helps us determine the first thing we always want to do is parentheses, then exponents, and then my dear, which is multiplication, division, or division, multiplication. Those don't have one that's more important than the other. And then addition, subtraction, or subtraction, addition, that doesn't matter either. So in 5th grade, you're really not going to use exponents much, but I like to teach it to you because this is real life, right? Next year, you will be having exponents. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally will help you always remember your orders of operation. So first thing that we do, we divide 12 divided by 5 because you divide before you add. So you divide. Now it says write it down in words. Okay, so if we write it in words, we have to make sure that we tell them to first divide and then add. So it says divide 12 by 5. And remember, when you divide, the order matters. So make sure you're not saying divide 5 by 12. Divide 12 by 5 and then add 2. I am going to say black coffee cup. So today on your math homework, just to make sure that you watched your math lesson, I'm going to say, what did I mention? You're going to say, oh, you mentioned a black coffee cup. Let's go to number 13. We have 1/2 plus 3/4 times t. We don't know what t is, but it doesn't matter. The question is asking us, can you please write this down in words? Sure we can. Sure we can. We can say, add 1/2 to the product of 3/4 and t. And remember, product means the answer to a multiplication problem. Okay? So therefore, you're telling someone, hey, find the answer of 3/4 and t and add 1/2. You could say, well, Mr. Shaw, how'd you know to write it like that? What if instead I tell them, multiply 3/4 and t, then add 1/2? Am I wrong? No. There's a whole bunch of different ways to get this, to write this in words, okay? So saying it a different way is fine as long as the answer would be the same. Let's go to 15. Multiply the sum of p and 3 by 1/10. Ooh, all we're doing now is we're going to take that and we're going to write it out as a computation, right? Or I'm sorry, we're going to write it out as an expression. So multiply the sum of p and 3 by 1/10. So multiply p and 3 added together by 1/10. Looks like that. P plus 3 times 1/10. And remember, if you have a book, I'd like for you to write this down because your brain remembers it and understands it more when you actually write. But if you don't have your book yet, which all my Waginka friends, you do not have your book yet, you're fine. And then let's finally go to 17. Add the product, which product means answer to multiplication, of 2 and 5. So we want to multiply 2 and 5. And we want to add that to the product of 9 and 8. Ooh, so we have two different multiplications, and then we're going to add those together. I smell some parentheses. So do you have to put these in? No, you don't have to, because if you're following the orders of operation, you know you have to do this first. But I love separating these with parentheses because it makes it crystal clear. So you have 2 times 5, you have 9 times 8, and then you're going to add those answers together. All right, we will rock the rest of this out at 10:30 during your live session, and then we'll go over any questions or confusion. All righty? All right, I'll see you guys at 10:30. Remember, email me if you have any questions.